surrounding that is all you're going to see in your newsfeed. So what you want to strategically think about is how you can be seen by people that don't yet know you. So you want to use a hashtag that is used by others. So if you only use one that is your business name, like if I hashtag social radio show, I'm probably the only one doing it.
Correct.
Now you want to get that kind of trending. I use it all the time on Twitter because I want people to tend to remember it. But within a search, very rarely is it going to help me. But if I hashtag the Facebook is marketing, social is fun, podcast, talk radio, those are topics other people are talking about. So
now let me throw a technical side in there. If you're unsure of how to come up with that word, you can go to google.com/AdWords, and it will tell you how many times a word, not a phrase, a word is used. And it's free to use on that. So you can go there and see what is a good word for you to do. Any questions, just come to the Social Radio Show, put your question there, and I'll respond to it. But that's an easy way, simple way to pick out which word gets more traction. And Google monitors everything, so they monitor every word. So
okay. So we've talked about using that cover image as a billboard, really bringing attention to your page, and why you want to make sure you use that to stand out, and all the little tools that go with that. How important it is to post consistently and make sure you're clear with your message. Pinning posts to your profile if you want to bring and gain attention to a specific post. And now using hashtags strategically. Now we get into the fun part that we marketers love. Is analyzing all of the activity on your account.
It's that dirty 4-letter word called work.
Yes, we must work it.
On that. You've got to do the work. And this is how you know what to post. Because when you start analyzing every post, over time, now this isn't just one particular day. You probably need to do this for anywhere from 4, 5 to 6 weeks over enough time so you begin to track things. But if I put a hashtag marketing, okay, I may or may not get any activity coming out of my post that day. But if I do it over a longer period of time, I will find out whether it's a good word or not. Now, the neat thing is you can do a number of them at a time. You don't have to wait. Now, like you said, we usually recommend 2, 3, 4 and no more than that inside the context of what you're doing. But that context allows you to search. So you go through that and you look at it from that standpoint. And, encourage your regular people that come to you to use a hashtag. And it's all right to, if you want to post on your Facebook page, how to use a hashtag. Maybe you want to do that every month, or maybe you want to pin it to the top a week every couple of months.
Well, what are some of the things that you need to be tracking with those analytics? I mean, the backside of your Facebook business page. This is why people ask me, can't I just do everything on my personal page? Do I have to have both? I'm going to throw in the caveat, even do a group, because that's where you can actually build your community. We don't have a lot of time talking about groups today. We are going to bring that into the next phase on our next, not this month, but in March. We'll talk more about groups on Facebook and how to use those to your advantage. But there's so many different components of Facebook that you have to think about. But on your page, when you're looking at your analytics, you don't get that package on your personal page, only on your business page. And when you go in there, you can actually do an analysis of who's viewing your postings, what time are people viewing your postings, so you know when your Facebook is most active. Also, how many, the reach you've received. Also, the engagement, how much engagement how you're growing. All of these items are in the back end of your Facebook page. How many link clicks you had, how much the call to action button. Did anybody actually click on your call to action button on your cover image, as well as, and you find all this in your insights.
Correct.
On your Facebook page.
But this is where the work comes in, because if you do this long enough, you're going to find out what the people that are liking you and going to your page and looking at your post, what they're reacting to, what they're not reacting to. So when I mentioned that earlier in the show, it was to set up this conversation right now, because the analytics, like them or not, will tell you exactly how you're doing. Think of it as your report card, but nobody else gets to see it but you. But that tells you what your audience wants to think. Now, if you don't like the audience that you have, then you can use, Facebook ad platforms, either one of them, to bring in a new group of people that would like your page. Don't ever dump the old ones off. A lot of people do that. No, let them stay there, okay? Because you never know when. If I have a retail store, I never know when they're going to want my product or service. If I have an automobile dealership or something else, I never know when somebody's looking for another car. So you want to have all of that there, but you got to do the dirty hard work, and that's know your numbers, know your analytics.
And you can't stop. Even if you're not getting the results that you desire right now, you need to keep that consistency up and have that plan so that and don't just get up in the morning and post. Make sure you're scheduling. Beautiful scheduler right here on Facebook on the business page. You can post, create a theme message for the week, the month. I mean, this is the month of love. It's February 1st. Let's start loving our Facebook page and showing it the love by actually taking care of it and putting that plan of action together. Schedule a week's worth of posts. Come back and, you can schedule right here on Facebook and then set it up on Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE.com. It's a dashboard. Using a free version, you can add up to 3 different platforms, and you can actually see the stream of conversation coming through your Facebook page right there on that dashboard. So it's saving you time, and it's just use it as a piece of your marketing, but integrate it with all your other marketing. This is not the only piece. This is the only thing you do. This is just a piece of your marketing. And you never want to stop marketing if you want to grow your business.
The other thing on your website, first of all, your website's got to be friendly. It's got to be imaginative. It's got to be a little bit edgy on what's there. But, have a number of times on your website links to your social media channels. Hopefully you got a blog, because blogs SEO a whole lot better than your website, which most of us rarely change, including us. There's a page or 2 that we do, but that's about it. But you got to remember, that 500-pound gorilla is called Google.
Well, talking about blogs and thinking of Facebook, I want to get into ads because, gosh, Richard, look at the time already. We're down to almost, under 11 minutes. And I know we really want to focus on Facebook ads and what the benefit is to running an ad, how affordable it is, and maybe a tip on what is the best way to use an ad to your advantage. And I'll give one tip. If you want to drive more traffic to your blog, run an ad on Facebook and direct it to your blog.
Yeah, I would especially recommend boosting a post for that type of an engagement. It's a lot easier. Okay. It's a lot simpler to use than the Facebook ad platform. The Facebook ad platform can get really intimidating for a lot of people because there's a lot of moving parts to it that goes on there.
It's true.
I mean, just give everybody a tip. One of the things I do is I'll run a Facebook ad and I'll just lay it out as the platform lays it out. And then one of the things it will tell me how many women looked at it, how many men looked at it, and it'll give me various age groupings that I can look at. Now, I take that information, maybe I run an ad for a week, so I get a fairly decent sampling of who's looking at it. Then I go back through and I'll write ads for the men differently than I will write an ad for a woman. Totally different. And I'm not going to write an ad within either men or women. If, let's say, we're looking at the 25 to 34, because that's how I break it down. I'm not going to write an ad for the 25 to 34, the same as I'm not going to write an ad for a 54 to 65. Totally different people, totally different logic sets that they operate by. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the best job I can to talk to my audience. And I break it up in 10-year sets like that, and by gender, and I go through it. It's a arduous process, but I get so much better results for my clients when I do that.
So this is where you really have to realize the importance of targeting on your page. And I know that within the settings of your page, when you go into the back area of the page, you can actually target where your postings are going out to, so that you can actually attract the right fans to your page.
Exactly.
Because so many people get hung up on the quantity of fans. I want quality. I've actually gone through my page and cleaned my fan list and cleaned it up.
Yeah, in the beginning, I think everybody wants quantity.
Oh yeah, you want to look cool.
They want a bigger number.
Yeah.
But after you get over 500 or 1,000, depending on what your industry is and how active you are, you start wanting to have more engagement. And to get more engagement, you have to get rid of the people that are not active on your page. And the analytics will pretty well show you what's going on there and where you need to be.
And that helps with your reach. And we'll make mention that when you target the right market, they tend to continue engaging, watching you in the news feed, and seeing you. Actually, they'll come over to your page, because 97% of people that click that like button never come back to your page. So they're waiting to see you in the news feed, and the only way they're going to see more in the news feed is if they are active in there themselves and they are paying attention and they're communicating with your page. So all those things, I know it's a lot to think about, but that's where you have to stay on top of it.
And that's why you have to get to know your audience so you can have that interesting, factual, engaging content. Because as people engage with you, Google's going to say, okay, there's an affinity here between these two pages.
Yep.
Which basically comes down to meeting people or groups of people. So you have to look at it from that standpoint. It's not easy, folks. It's definitely not easy. But I tell you what, it's worth it. It's been worth it for us, and that's all. I won't go anywhere else. It's been very much worth it for us.
It takes the time to learn something new. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. Come to the So Social Radio Show page. Ask questions. We're here for that reason. And, let us know what challenges you're having. We'll bring that into a topic in the radio show. If we don't have the answer, we know a lot of other people doing what we do. We learn from each other. We'll bring in those experts that we know that can help you as well. I mean, we know a lot. I know Facebook very well. You know the Facebook ad platform very well. But we want to make sure that this is working for you and you don't get frustrated, because that's what I see happening. People get so frustrated. It's not making me any money. I'm not getting the calls I want. I'm going to quit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Especially if you're looking for phone calls. That's not what Facebook is there for.
You've got to reach out to people. People don't call you anymore.
But it is about messaging. You get the message going, and it works fine.
So don't ignore targeting. Do not ignore the targeting. Targeting is so, as you said, important both in your postings on your page and in your ad marketing, because there is so many components of and elements of the ad platform. It goes so deep, it would blow your mind away. And I know that we're
then
setting.
you
it's
get
setting
it.